What's up, everybody? So as I mentioned in the previous video, I was going to give you guys a tour of the house. We'll start with the office. I've been working out of here for a few months. My girlfriend and I decided to get that apartment that you saw me in the previous video. So I'm just living there temporarily until the house is ready. The house is taking way longer than I thought it would. It's gonna be probably about March of next year before it's done, and that's just kind of like an estimate. I've been underestimating like crazy for this house, so I decided to overestimate, hopefully. I don't know if I'm being impatient or what, but it's ended up costing a lot more. As I show you the house, you might think like, wow, doesn't look like you've really done that much in the amount of time you've been working on it. If you're thinking that as I walk through the house that there's still so much to be done, there is. What's been taking so long in part is just getting the plumbing done, getting the electricity done. We had to like reroute plumbing and gas lines and water lines and electric and stuff like that. So that has caused this to take like far longer because that wasn't really anticipated for. So I guess part of the fun thing in like documenting this is showing the process, because it's certainly not enjoyable for me 100% of the time. In fact, it's really, really trying on me sometimes. It's very overwhelming sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, I wish I didn't do this. I'm just gonna be 100% real with you guys. Like, I'm not super excited. I'm not super happy about every little step of my business as much as I'd like for every little thing to just be like a joy and, oh, this is great. It's not. It's been very, very stressful and just a lot of pressure. But not to complain, because I mean, I'm very, very excited about it getting done, and I'm very eager and grateful for all the help. Like, my parents have been helping. I've been hiring like, 5 or 6 people to come help at the house. My Uncle Ron's been doing a ton of work. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been involved. We also got the roof on the garage coated in like a polymer plastic type of coating, so that fixed all the leaks that I was having. I don't know if I mentioned it in any of the previous videos, but when there was like a heavy rain, the garage would just get a lot of water in it. So we had to get the roof coated, which cost me almost $2,000. I was gonna do it myself, but I just ended up not, because I actually had a guy freaking fall off the roof, which was terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying. Luckily, somehow, he's fine. He landed on his feet and then just like kind of rolled onto his back, but like, holy shit. It was rough. So I decided maybe I'll have a professional come in and do it. I'm sure I could have done it. I mean, it's not hard to do, but I've been busy with work also, so I didn't have the time for it, or at least I wanted to spend my time doing other things. But here's what the roof looks like. It's kind of hard to tell, but they coated it in like a black plastic or rubber based. It's like a tar my uncle was saying that they should have done it in white and they should have done it in polymer. Then I asked the guy and he said it won't matter. My uncle said it would be hot, really hot, and the tar might melt in the summer when it gets very hot. It might absorb a lot of heat and make it kind of miserable to work in there. So let's hope not, because that's just like another thing to be like, oh God, dread this, dread that, you know. I just want to be positive. I want to be optimistic. So if you guys could please send some love and some positivity my way, I could use the love. Please, speaking of that, please hit like, please hit subscribe. That helps me a ton, and it also lets me know that you guys want to see more and that you guys are enjoying this content. I will be getting back to doing like more showing the process, like this is how I'm handling my business, and like this is how I'm taking these orders, and I'll break it down, even like explaining how to do stuff. I'm actually teaching somebody to screen print right now. She's like sort of like a part-time employee, intern basically, but eventually I hope that she'll learn how to print so that she can print for me. I can focus on like order fulfillments and just like managing accounts and stuff like that. That's my ultimate goal, is to like not have to do the printing and embroidery myself, so that I can have it'll free me up to basically grow the business and find new customers and take orders and things like that. So, but ultimately what I'm looking forward to the absolute most, aside from growing the business, is getting the studio done. So as you can see behind me, this giant rectangle that my uncle was like, why the hell did he cut that in the wall? That is the commitment to making the studio. That was my way of saying like, this is happening. There's no way I'm backing out of this. And so I cut that hole in the wall, and basically that's gonna be the office for the studio, and then the long family room is going to be the live music space, basically. So this room, what we've been working on lately are these wood beams at the top. I don't know how dark it is in here. Hopefully you guys can see me. These wood beams took a while, and we're still not completely finished with them because some of the beams warped, but I did stain them with my mom's help. Thank you, Mom. We stained them, we sanded them, and then we have to restain a couple little pieces here and there. This little pillar around the fireplace is gonna get like a stone accent wall on it, just because I think aesthetics, I think, how do you say that word? Aesthetics are important, in my opinion. I know it doesn't have, like, I just appreciate it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, obviously you don't need to have things look fancy, or you might call me bougie, I don't know. But like, I just want the place to look really cool. I want people to come in here and be like, wow, this is awesome, and get excited about recording here, hear about other people who've recorded here, and basically build the recording studio that way. I've already reached out to a handful or two different musicians about recording. There's a ton of potential musicians that we'll be working with, so I'm very excited about that. I have about 3 or 4 recording engineers who are on board to be like the lead and backup engineers for the studio. I'm eventually gonna learn so that I can do it myself as well. I think the thing that I'm really the most excited about is like getting the studio finished and having everything totally done, so I can just step back and be like, oh my God, like it's done. Like I can just appreciate it and not have to think about, oh, we gotta still do this, we gotta still do that. I'm gonna have a list of like 50 things that I still have to do after the house is like livable. But those things will happen over time. They're not gonna be as important or as big of a project as just getting the house ready to live in. But anyway, once the house is livable, once the studio is up and running and we have all the equipment and the layout that we want, that's what I'm really looking forward to the most, because that's when I can start making my music. And that's what I really want to share with you guys more than anything in the world. I love making music. I've made a couple actually recordings with a few friends of mine on Logic, which is just like a entry-level DAW, which stands for Digital Audio Workspace, something like that. Yeah, Digital Audio Workstation, Workshop, whatever. It's an editing system for audio, just like I use Adobe Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro, stuff like that for editing video. Logic is like one of the lower end, but still professional grade DAWs with audio editing platform or program. I can already do some very basic recordings. I can record drums and guitar and vocals and do like really, really basic effects and effects modulating and mixing. I need, I don't need, but I do. I need to get better. I need to get just to another level because I'm dying to freaking record, and like I've been just really eager about like recording some cool music and sharing that. And I feel like I always stand under a light and then I get like the coop eyes. So sorry, it looks terrible. That's another thing I'm gonna do once the house is set up, is like I'm gonna set up like a C-stand with a boom pole and a shotgun microphone on it, and then have like a ring light and like a designated place to sit and talk to the camera. I'll even have like a tripod set up so that with the camera on it, so that all I have to do, sit down, turn on my audio device, turn on my camera, hit record, and talk. And then that way I don't have to do all this walking around and like all this stuff that I get comments about, people like, dude, you need to stop walking. I agree, it looks terrible. Also the lighting looks terrible. So like I'm gonna set up a space where I can just address the camera, address you guys, talk to YouTube, talk to the channel, and have it look professional, have it look quality, good quality. So anyway, I got this new fridge, I got some appliances in. We had to return the one microwave that I bought, which I'm so bummed about because I know it's just a microwave, but like I've gotten so into like trying to make this house like everything I've ever wanted, because once the house is done, I feel like my life is complete. Like there's still stuff I really want to do, obviously, but like this is such a big step for me. Like I went from renting a house for over 4 years, and prior to that, just like bouncing from apartment to apartment or living in houses with friends and stuff like that, or living at home with my parents occasionally a few times. I bounced back and forth from all of that stuff like for very many years after graduating high school, and to be like taking that next step into like being a homeowner, and then also like having this massive space for my business is just gonna be so relieving once it's ready, because like at Bob's house, at my old house, the basement was pretty much maxed out. Like I couldn't put any more equipment in there hardly. I mean, I could have probably found a way, but like it was pretty much about as full and like good as it got at that basement. And now I have this big garage, so my space is like so open and it's so empty almost, and like I really want to just get that like organized like I had the shop, because at the shop I had everything meticulously organized. Like I knew exactly where anything was that I ever needed anytime, and if somebody moved one thing, I was like, oh my god, where's this thing? Like it was almost like a level of OCD, but in my eyes, in my mind, the reason I did that was because I wanted for things to be as efficient and quick as possible. So like I could grab this if I needed it, you know, everything's right there waiting for me, and that's how I need the garage to be. Plus just like, again, aesthetically, like I want to be able to walk into that garage and just like kind of be proud and feel really good. And obviously I'm proud now, like don't get me wrong, but I need it to be, I should stop saying I need, because I don't want to sound entitled, but I really want my workspace and my business to be impressive. For my sake and the sake of my customers and potential customers. Like I had the CEO of a big company offer to come and see my workshop, and this was at the beginning of the year, and they're like a huge company, like tens of millions of dollars probably every year, and I met the CEO, and they are local, and they were looking for a printer, and they were, you know, interested in outsourcing to a new printer. I was like, oh my god, this is perfect. Like what an opportunity. It's like when they say luck is when preparation meets opportunity. That's exactly how I felt in that moment. Like I had a friend who worked there from high school who randomly asked me to come, because they have like every 3 months you get to bring a friend or a relative to work, and he happened to invite me, and I rarely even like keep in touch with him. So, but he just knew this is, you know, I'd been doing this with my career, and he was a graphic designer there, and so he invited me over, and I was so excited because I was familiar with the company just from being in this industry, and I kind of just like always looking for new, bigger clients to work with. So I was familiar with them, I'd heard about them, I knew they were a big deal. I went there, I was incredibly impressed with their facility. It was really nice. And they had like a whole department of like salespeople, and I got to meet them, and that's when I got their business cards, and we talked about pricing, and they were all highly interested in working with me. I sent them my pricing later on, and they said it was a little higher than they wanted, that they might still use it, but I asked them if they had pricing for me that they were used to getting, so they sent me that. And then I basically spent like at least 2 hours just kind of like had the pricing they were used to drawn up, had my pricing drawn up, and I was just kind of going back and forth between like the quantity and number of color tiers and the cost for setup, and just kind of like finding a happy place for that customer. And obviously, like when I say that, I don't think, like I have a set pricing that I use for everybody. Like everybody gets this pricing. I don't give like favors, you know what I mean? Like if I have a customer maybe who is a very good customer, like I'll probably give them like a 10% off here, 10% off there, here's a free setup, stuff like that. But to be fair, you don't go to McDonald's and expect like 10% off a burger. So like it's not fair to all my other customers if one customer gets like privileges that others don't. So I stick to my pricing for everybody, but occasionally like if a big customer comes along, you literally have to do that in order to earn their business, because they do that all the time. They negotiate prices with contract printers. That's how you get into contract printing, and that's been my goal since I started. Since I started, I knew I would be getting an automatic press, a commercial grade dryer, a bigger space to do this out of, and I'm well on my way, as you guys can see. I guess it's like I'm so close I can taste it. I'm also a little scared to like get to that point, because like what does that mean for like my available time and like the way it's gonna change my life? But it's something I've been working towards for quite some time. To work with those big customers, you have to be able to compete and be competitive with your pricing. My quality's already there. I can't really get their business until I get an automatic. I probably could get some of their smaller orders and they would still send me a lot of work with my manual, but because the margins of profit are lower, I've actually postponed following back up with them until I have an automatic, until my house is completely ready, because I want to make a really good first impression with them. I don't want to start off on the wrong foot where I have all this house stuff going on, I have to get the shop ready still, and then at some point I'm trying to upgrade to an auto and all that stuff, and like they get in with me at that point, and I'm like, oh my god, like I'm not delivering the way that I know that I can because of all this other stuff going on that's overwhelming to me. So that's why I'm postponing it. I'm waiting until the time is right. I know some people might think that's a bad idea and say like, you want to just go for that right now. As soon as the opportunity comes, you take it because you don't want to let it slip away. And I've actually let that happen to myself a number of times. Like there was a director he worked with like Bruce Willis and like all these huge names, and he's actually from around here and he went to the same school as me, and I found him on Facebook and messaged him about working together, and he told me to send me his resume, and I had the same mentality. I was like, I'm gonna wait till I get like a couple better credentials, redo my resume, send it to him, and then I think that there's still like a little door open there, but I don't know if that'll ever be a thing. So that's kind of similar, where it's like I kind of let that slip through my fingers, and hopefully with this company that I'm potentially gonna be working with, that my friend introduced me to, that's not the same case. Like hopefully when the house is ready and I reach back out, they're still highly interested in working with me. I'd be really, really disappointed if they weren't. I'd be very upset with myself, honestly. But again, I've said it before, like there's so many customers out there, you don't necessarily need to rely on any one customer, but they would be an absolutely life-changing customer. I mean, that's the type of customer that like if you get their business and you do a really good job and they start sending you more and more work, eventually like your entire like annual income could be just from that one customer. So you could live off that, or you could find, I could keep printing for all my pre-existing customers, which I don't know how many there are, but there's, a lot. So I could keep printing for those kind of people, those kind of customers, plus this big contract client, plus anybody new who comes along. So like it depends. Like for me, it's like, how far do you want to take it? How hard do you want to work? How much time do you want to dedicate only to working and not to living like casually or doing other things that maybe don't generate income? So that's something that I'm still understanding about myself, because I have ambitions of like, high levels of success and high levels of income, and then also like using that income to produce my music and other people's music and do better videos and stuff like that. But at the same time, another thing that has really been going on a lot with me lately is like trying to figure out how much of that is healthy, for me. And everybody's different, so please don't take this as like my way or the highway. This is, I know, like the secret to life, and this is the way to do it. But I'm just figuring out the way to do it for me. And again, everybody's different. So what works for you might not work for me or vice versa. But I think that's all still kind of relatable, because just if you speak in broader terms, I think it's applicable to anybody. So like for me, I've been taking time to sort of relax and do more pastime things that I enjoy to sort of relieve stress, relieve that feeling of being overwhelmed. Like vlogging right now, actually. The reason I stopped vlogging is because I felt so overwhelmed. I was like, I can't do this. I can't edit these weddings and shoot new weddings and go out of town to shoot these corporate videos, plus getting the garage ready and calling all these contractors to fix the roof and replace these windows and call somebody to order cabinets and get appliances ordered, and then communicate with my uncle about all the different things that he has to do, and then go to Home Depot and pick up drywall and pick up wood and try to hire, like hands to help my uncle do things or move things. It was so much at once. And then on top of that, I was like, and then I have to shoot and edit a vlog too. Like it takes me 2 to 4 hours probably at least to edit of one vlog. And so I just felt really overwhelmed, and I missed it so much. Like I really truly like love YouTube. Like I'm so into YouTube. I love vlogging. I love comments. Like I love when you guys comment. I love interacting with you guys. I love all the positive feedback. Like I've had a lot of people order from me from YouTube. Like some of my best customers to date are from YouTube. And so, I mean, it's been a really great thing, and I really love it. And I watch YouTubers all the time. Like I love YouTube, and I want to be a YouTuber. I guess I am a YouTuber, but I want to be like a successful YouTuber. Like I want to have success on there. Like, finding success financially, I guess, is really the bottom line. Like, and just expressing myself. And that kind of goes hand in hand. I think when you find the right way to express yourself, it will relate to people and they will connect with it. And that's what brings you the views and the subscribers and the income from YouTube. Like I had a friend recently, by the way, check him out. His YouTube channel is Odd Header, ODDHEADER. He was like my very first screen printing customer. Like if I go back in my order history, from my first vendor that I worked with, like he was my very first one. He has a local band. We've known each other for a long time, and he just started his YouTube channel, I guess he'd been on YouTube for a while, but he started recently. I guess now it's probably been 6 months or something, but when I started watching his first videos and they were doing really well, and then like he's just blown up, like past 200,000 subscribers, getting millions and millions of views very, very quickly. Like there was one video he put up that got over 6 million views in a month, which is insane. Like that's like the pinnacle almost of YouTube. Like, and he's just getting started. Like that, getting that much, maybe not the pinnacle, but that's basically what I'm trying to say is that's real success on YouTube. And I don't mean to just be superficial and say I want views, I want subscribers. Like I know that I have to contribute something of value to deserve that. Something that's either entertaining or educational or inspirational or whatever, something that people connect to. So that brings me back to what I was trying to say, is just that like, man, I go off on a lot of tangents, so try to keep up with me. I'm sorry. It's probably because my mind just does that. But like, anyway, I really, really, really have for a long time wanted to make it on YouTube. And I figured that this would be a good way for me to try to accomplish that, or at least inch closer and closer towards that goal. And hopefully one day, like I'll be able to let the dust settle and take more time to really think about like, okay, what do I need to do to make my YouTube channel work? Like I know it works now, but like to get it to that point where I'm like, this is what I was hoping for, it'd be a dream come true, basically. And I really am hoping that like once the house is done and like the craziness of moving and like all my stuff getting like misplaced and just kind of like scattered, plus like staying at this apartment temporarily, plus just fixing up the house and making that livable. I think once all that's done, like I'll be able to calm down and relax and show you a different side of me, that maybe will be more valuable, maybe offer more value. And when I say offer more value, I guess that could be perceived in a lot of different ways, but like you know, whether it's me putting out music that I make or like people that I'm working with make, and then, you know, you guys like the music a lot, or with the startup life, if you guys are learning a thing or two about screen printing, and or maybe even just starting a business that has nothing to do with screen printing. All these things are things that I want to offer because I think I can offer them, and I think they do have real value. It's just a matter of getting there. You know, like everybody kind of forges their own path, finds their own way at the right time in their life, based on their actions and decisions leading up to that point and everything going forward. So for me, I am, you know, far from perfect. I make a lot of mistakes all the time, just like anybody. But I think at some point, I really hope, you know, God willing, plus me and my actions, I hope that we get to that point. And I hope that you guys can help me get there. I really can't do it without you. So if you could hit the like button, if you could hit the subscribe button, I seriously, like, I hate asking, honestly, I do. It's hard to ask, but I would appreciate it a ton. And I can't wait to share all this developing stuff with you guys. Please just be patient with me. I'm trying to be patient. It's hard, but there's a lot of stuff in the works that I'm really excited about. Podcasting, music, the startup life, you know, screen printing, embroidery, direct to garment, the website, filmmaking. You know, I want to do music videos, and there's just so much stuff like that I feel close to. I feel like I can almost taste it. Like it's not far away, but I have to keep grinding to get there. And I will get there sooner with support. So like, that's why this means so much to me. It's not the only reason. There's a lot of reasons, but one of the main reasons is that like YouTube can make like dream lives come true, you know? I mean, I'm happy with my life. I don't mean to sound like I'm complaining ever, but there's a lot of stuff that I want to do with life, and I think you only live once, and you should try to do what you want to live with your life, because time is fleeting, and yeah, time is valuable, so make the most of it. And if that means taking a weekend to play video games and relaxing and hanging out with your girlfriend, or playing with your pet cat or dog, or seeing your grandma, or spending time going to a dance class with your sister and your dad and your aunt and uncle and your whatever, like, you know, going on vacation, or if that means grinding and working really hard and not even like leaving the house because you're working all day, or leaving your job because you're working all day, or whatever that is to you. Back to the tour. This is the entrance, I guess. We obviously have to get rid of this exit sign up here. The floors, we're gonna sand all the floors. We're gonna sand down all this. This is like adhesive. You can still see like the hardwood beneath it. So we're gonna try to sand all that. And then we're also gonna sand all of this, basically up to like there. So like there to there is gonna be hardwood. We're gonna refinish it, refinish all of this stuff. And then back here is gonna be like carpet. We'll probably have like a drum set, a piano. I might get like sliding doors just because they're fucking cool. But this will be more like a family room. And then it'll also serve as like for doing recording studio stuff if we need that much space. But we have, I mean, there's so much space in here that like I don't think we really need that much to record. So that way I can still have a family room. We'll probably hang a TV up here or whatever. And then that way I can still record, and I can still have a place to relax and, you know, watch a movie or play video games or whatever. Okay, so I'm an idiot and I keep forgetting that like my camera cuts off after like every 22 minutes. So I just filmed like a lot of stuff and then looked at my camera and I was like, oh, it's not recording great. I am on the 3rd floor of this house tour. I guess I'll just start where I left off on this 3rd floor, and then we'll just work our way down. Not much going on up here. It's just a bunch of storage right now. This is all my crap. It's one of the things that sucks about owning a lot of stuff, is that you feel like a hoarder when you move, because look at this freaking room, dude. Check it out though. I bought these new monitor speakers for the recording studio, which are covered in dust. I got like a drum interface to record live drums. I cannot wait, man. I'm so freaking tired of this project. Like, I swear to God, I hate to complain, but man, it's taking forever. Okay, so I don't know what I'm gonna make this yet. I've been playing with ideas. I might make it a podcast. Food for Thought is the name of the podcast as it stands currently. We're talking about eating a weird thing of food before every episode, and then just talking kind of like the Joe Rogan Experience, where you're just like having a conversation with your buddy or some pals or a person you've never met, but they're just like interesting, or maybe they're normal people but they have interesting topics of conversation. Or I could make it, I want to start making wristwatches. You guys are probably, the more you watch this, you're gonna be like, damn, this dude is like all over the place. But like, I for real love watches. I want to make watches. If I ever get like super successful, I'll start a watchmaking company, maybe. This is my bedroom. Not much has changed in here. It's currently being used as like for like the workhorses and just cutting wood and stuff. This is the bathroom. He cut this hole here. So we're gonna bring this archway out to like right here in front of this opening. That's gonna be the new opening to go into the bathroom. This opening is going to be closed off. So like this is just, you know, like getting framed in for the shower. He started putting the ceiling up, put all this insulation in. This wood, I'll show you. He basically installed this so that, he installed this so he can do what I'm doing right now, which is walk around and be able to work on the ceiling without needing a ladder or scaffolding. This is basically like makeshift wooden scaffolding. As you can see, he put in like, you know, some lights. He put in this drywall. He's starting to frame in the shower up top here, which is looking awesome. Put in this insulation. Here's the laundry room. This will have a wall up around it. This will be the laundry room. So we're gonna have like shelf here or whatever for your laundry stuff and towels, or I don't know. Laundry, yeah. And this will be, I guess the reason, like, it still looks like there's so much to be done, and there is, but it's like we can only do so much at once. With Ron being one guy, and he's been in and out of the hospital. Like this week he's not here because he's in the hospital. He was in the hospital last week as well. I'm sorry, he left the hospital at the end of last week, but he's taking this week off because of some health issues that he's having. And it's just been, you know, a slow process, but it's, you know, developing. And also, just for the record, like, I've told him that he doesn't need to do this if he doesn't feel like he's healthy enough to, but he wants the work. So I hope you guys don't think that I'm like a slave driver, just like, you need to get the work done, I need this done, I don't care about your health. Like, I absolutely care about his health. He appreciates the work, and he is, you know, working really hard on it. It's just he's doing the majority of the work by himself, and so it takes time. He was like rerouting like plumbing and electric for the laundry room, so that was good progress, and I think he's done with that now. Getting old, man. Body doesn't work like it used to. All right, this bathroom he's done some good work in. We coated this, we chipped all the plaster off, I sanded it down, we coated it. The ceiling's been painted, the shower is getting just about there. We got this like nice black trim, black tiles going in. The stuff's gonna be everywhere. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be so great. I really can't wait till this freaking house is done. I'm basically like flipping a home. Like, I bought this house, and it's literally going to be like, it's changing so much. Like, I might as well have made it like a TV show episode where, like, you know, those shows where they like buy a house and flip it, because that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out how to set this camera. The lens is so front heavy that like it'll just, yeah. All right, that didn't work. Okay, it would have been probably pretty cool if we had like a budget or time to just focus on like how to flip a house. I didn't do that. So anyways, this is where my uncle's been sleeping. He comes over here during the week, and he's usually here like Sunday through Thursday, and then he leaves to go home on the weekends. And so he's been staying in there on the air mattress. And then this is just being used for storage. These might be bedrooms when the house is done, but like I really want to like take out this wall, make this one big room, and then make that a gym, put a sauna in there. My life is complete at that point. Don't ever have to leave the house, and I can just be like a homebody to the fullest. This wallpaper sucks. It's impossible to take off. So as you can see, that's not a thing. So we're basically just gonna mud over the creases anywhere the wallpaper's peeling, let that dry, prime it, paint it, then the walls are done. That's it. All right, well, hope you enjoyed this house tour. Again, I'm busy and things have been overwhelming, so that's why like I am the way I am, I guess, lately. I know a couple people who are interested in filming and editing these vlogs for me. It's just a matter of like finding people who will show up and do it and do a good job and get it done on time. It's still something I'm working towards. I really hope one day I can like find people. I'm sure if like the YouTube channel starts making money, I mean, it's making a little bit now, but it's definitely not enough to like pay people to do this kind of stuff regularly. I'm sure the quality will improve once I can afford to pay people to shoot and edit these as well. I actually enjoy doing that a lot, so I'm gonna keep doing it regardless, even if I find somebody or not. I just think it could take it to the next level. I mean, when you look at certain YouTube channels where they have people who help them edit and they have people who help them shoot, like, I'm sure that's a big relief, especially for someone like me who has a primary time-consuming job and I have a business to run. It's hard to slow myself down and be like, write out a script for how I want the episode to go and then think about like a storyboard and plan the shots and then take the time to like set up my tripod and shoot everything, or like map out the shot and then edit it all that way. Like that would be ideal. That would be the best possible way for me to like make an authentic vlog that like represents me to the fullest, I guess. But I also just like the idea of like having a team of people and not doing everything by yourself all the time. We'll get there. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for liking. If you need any custom apparel, please send me an email. My email is thelivecollection@gmail.com, and I'll get back to you right away with some pricing, or we can hash out the order details if you're interested in ordering anything and you're not exactly sure what you want. Like if you just have something in mind but it's not concrete as far as like number, sizes, and quantity and color of the garment and the exact style or brand of the garment plus the design, like we can figure all that stuff out together. That's what I do with my customers. It's always nice if a customer has that all figured out as well. So if you, either way, you know, if you want to order some stuff, please let me know. I'm always looking for more work. This house is really expensive, and yeah, I need work. If you need anything done, we have order minimums of 24 garments. So like if you want to order t-shirts, please just make sure that you're ordering at least 24 shirts. That goes for hoodies or whatever that you're interested in ordering. But aside from that, please like, please subscribe, please ask me questions in the comments if you have any, if you are curious about, you know, my experience starting a business, what it was like. If you have any questions about starting your own and you want some feedback or advice or anything like that, I would love to help. If you have questions about cameras, like what kind of camera should I get? What kind of camera do you use? What do you edit on? How do you do this? How'd you figure that out? What's a good school for learning this stuff? Whatever, you know, let me know. Or if you just want to comment and talk about like my nipples like you did in one of the more previous, my last video, because I was shirtless. Yeah, you can do that too. You can, whatever you want. And also again, I just want to apologize for the shirtless video last week, or whenever that was. I don't know when this video is going to go up, but I do that a lot, so I'm sorry. You gotta do what you gotta do to get those views. Just kidding. Okay, so, all right guys, peace. I'm awkward. All right, love you. I love you. I love you. Okay. I don't know how to end this. All right, see you guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, do all that stuff that makes me happy. Yay. That was terrible too. Okay. No. Yes. No. My mind. It's so back and forth. Fuck. Thanks for watching, guys. You rock. Yeah, but anyway, look forward to the podcast and other things to come, or don't. but if you do, that's cool because we'll connect on that level. I don't want to put this down, man. I don't know how to end it. I feel like the ending has to be perfect, and I don't have a perfect ending. Fuck it. All right, see you guys.